Chapter 1. The logout button was gone. Yuna froze for a second, then let out a short laugh. No, she opened the menu again, slower this time. Nothing showed up. No exit, no settings. No way out. You've got to be kidding me. Around her, players were starting to panic. Why can't I log out? Is this a bug? Someone screamed. That was when it stopped feeling like a joke. Yuna didn't move. She had seen this before. Not in real life, but in every death game story ever made. If I die, I'm actually dead. Her fingers tightened around the starter dagger. Perfect timing, she muttered. She wasn't even on her main account. Just a throwaway character. A nobody. The sky split open. Not cracked. Torn. Darkness poured through and swallowed the light. Everything froze. Players stopped mid-motion. Voices cut off. A message appeared. Warning, unauthorized entity detected. Yuna swallowed. Why me? Everyone else was frozen. But she could still move. A shadow fell over her. Interesting. The voice came from behind her. Yuna didn't turn. Yeah, not doing that. You can move, the voice said. Cold fingers lifted her chin. Una's breath caught as she looked up. The demon queen stood in front of her, smiling, for a human. You're unusual. Yuna forced a breath. Yeah, I get that a lot. Then you'll do. A notification burst into her vision. Hidden quest triggered. Soulbinding contract. Do you accept? No, instant. The demon queen smiled wider. How adorable. Something tightened around Yuna's chest. Wait, the world shattered. Contract accepted. Chapter 2. Pain came first. Deep, crushing. Yuna dropped to one knee. What did you? Her voice cut off as she saw it. A red thread stretched from her chest, connected to the demon queen. A contract, the demon queen said. Yuna looked up. I said no, you did. Then why? Because your opinion was not required. Yuna stared at her, then let out a short laugh. Wow, straight to that, huh? The demon queen stepped closer. The air shifted. Yuna's body felt heavier, then stronger. Her stats flickered. Okay, that's new. Our souls are linked, the demon queen said. Yuna frowned. So I'm borrowing your power? No answer. Yuna stepped back. The thread stretched. For a second, nothing happened. Then pain exploded through her chest. She choked and dropped again. Distance penalty, the demon queen said. Yuna forced a breath. Of course it is. She pushed herself up. And if you die? A pause. You die with me. Yuna went still. That's insane. It is efficient. Yuna exhaled. You're crazy. The demon queen studied her. You are not afraid. I am, Yuna said. I just don't panic. A faint smile. Good, she turned. Follow me. Yuna didn't move. Or what? The demon queen glanced back. Or you die. Yuna sighed. Yeah, that tracks. She stepped forward. The pain vanished. The strength returned. Yuna frowned. This is broken. The demon queen didn't reply. But she looked satisfied. Chapter 3. The forest was silent. Too silent. Yuna frowned. I don't like this. No response. You ever talk? Quiet. Yuna froze. Her instincts screamed. Something was coming. The ground shook. A growl echoed. Then a massive wolf burst out. Finally, Yuna muttered. Something normal. It lunged. Yuna moved. Fast. Too fast. She dodged and slashed. The blade cut deeper than it should. Okay, that's not right. Do not get careless, the demon queen said. Yuna smirked. I'm not careless. The monster charged again. Yuna stepped closer. The thread flared. Power surged. Wait, she moved. A clean strike. The monster dropped. Silence returned. Yuna stared at her hands. That shouldn't work. It works because of me, the demon queen said. Yuna glanced back. Yeah, figured. She stepped closer again. Stronger. So the closer I am, the stronger you become. Yuna laughed quietly. That's completely broken. The demon queen stepped closer. Too close. Yuna felt the connection tighten. What do you want from me? She asked. The demon queen looked down at her. I want to see what you become. Yuna narrowed her eyes. That's not an answer. It is the only one you will get. A pause. For now, Yuna clicked her tongue. You're annoying. A faint smile. You will get used to it, Yuna snorted. Doubt it. But she didn't step back, 'cause she already knew. She couldn't. Not anymore. Chapter 4. The deeper they walked, the heavier the air became. Yuna frowned. This place feels off. Of course it does, the Demon Queen said. You're inside my territory. Yuna stopped. Wait, your territory? The Demon Queen didn't slow down. Everything here belongs to me. Yuna glanced around. The forest felt different now. Not empty. Not silent. Watching. Right. Of course it does, she muttered. Final boss. Makes sense. A low sound echoed through the trees. Yuna stiffened. That's not the same wolf, is it? No, the answer came too easily. Yuna exhaled. Great. The ground shifted slightly. Shadows moved between the trees. Multiple. Yuna's grip tightened on her dagger. How many? The Demon Queen didn't answer. That was enough of an answer. Seriously? Yuna said. You brought me here on purpose? Yes. Yuna stared at her. You're testing me. The Demon Queen glanced back. You noticed, hard not to. The first monster stepped out. Then another. And another. Yuna clicked her tongue. Yeah, this is definitely a test. They circled slowly, waiting. Yuna adjusted her stance. You going to help? And just watch. I am watching. Yuna scoffed. Of course you are. The first one lunged. Yuna moved. Fast, but not fast enough. Claws tore across her shoulder. Pain flared. Damn it, she stumbled back. The monsters didn't stop. Another lunged from the side. Yuna barely dodged. Too many, too fast. She stepped closer instinctively. The thread flared. Power surged. But it wasn't enough. A third monster came from behind. Yuna didn't react in time. Something moved. Faster than everything else. The monster froze midair, then split cleanly in half. Silence. Yuna blinked. The Demon Queen stood in front of her. One hand raised slightly, unbothered. Focus, she said. Yuna stared at her. You said you weren't helping. I didn't, the Demon Queen replied calmly. I said I was watching. Yuna let out a breath. That counts as helping? Only because you failed. Yuna clicked her tongue. Wow, harsh. The remaining monsters hesitated, then slowly backed away, like they knew. Yuna watched them disappear into the trees, then looked back at her. You could have done that from the start. Yes. Didn't feel like it? No, Yuna stared at her. Then laughed under her breath. You're unbelievable. The Demon Queen said nothing. But her gaze lingered for a second longer than before. Chapter 5. They kept walking. This time Yuna stayed closer without thinking. The difference was obvious. Safer, stronger. This is annoying, she muttered. The Demon Queen glanced at her. What is? I don't like relying on you, then die. Yuna snorted. Yeah, not happening. Then why me? Yuna asked. The Demon Queen didn't answer immediately. Yuna frowned. You had a whole world of players. Why pick me? Silence. Then you were the only one who moved. Yuna blinked. That's it? That is enough. Yuna looked away slightly. Feels like a bad reason. It is a precise one. Yuna shook her head. Still sounds like luck. No. Yuna glanced back. No? The Demon Queen's gaze sharpened slightly. It was not luck. Something about the way she said it made Yuna pause. Then what was it? The Demon Queen looked at her. Directly. You were different. Yuna held her gaze for a second, then looked away first. You keep saying that, because it is true. Yuna clicked her tongue. You're weird. A faint smile. Barely there. You will adjust. Yuna huffed. Doubt it. They walked in silence for a while. Then Yuna slowed. Wait, the Demon Queen stopped. What is it? Yuna looked ahead. A faint glow flickered between the trees. That's not normal, no, the Demon Queen said. It is not. Yuna narrowed her eyes. You knew this was here? No. That made her more alert, not less. So we're walking into something unknown. Yes, Yuna sighed. Great. Love that. But she didn't step back. Instead, she stepped forward. Chapter 6. The clearing felt wrong. Not like the forest, not like anything. The air flickered, like a screen failing to load. Yuna slowed. You see that too, right? Yes. The ground shifted under her feet. Not physically, visually, like reality was breaking. A distorted shape stood in the center. Not a monster, not a player, something else. Yuna frowned. What is that? The Demon Queen's expression changed slightly. It should not exist. That was not reassuring. The thing moved. Not forward, just glitched. And suddenly it was closer. Yuna's body reacted instantly. She stepped back. Pain flared. The thread pulled tight. Right. Can't do that. The creature turned toward her. No face, just static. Yuna swallowed. I don't like this. It is not part of the system, the Demon Queen said. That makes it worse. The creature lunged. Yuna moved. But something felt off. Her timing was wrong. Her body lagged. Wait, the attack clipped her arm. Not deep, but her HP didn't drop. It flickered. Yuna froze. What? The world around her stuttered. For a second, everything went silent. Then a voice. Not the system. Not the Demon Queen. Something else. Error. Data conflict. Yuna's breath caught. Did you hear that? The Demon Queen didn't answer. Yuna looked at her and froze. For the first time, the Demon Queen looked tense. The creature moved again. Faster. Unstable. Yuna braced herself, but before she could react, a hand grabbed her wrist, pulled her in, close, too close. The Demon Queen stepped forward, between her and the creature. Stay behind me. Yuna blinked. You're protecting me now? No answer. The Demon Queen raised her hand. The air bent. Darkness gathered, then exploded outward. The creature shattered. Not killed. Erased. Silence fell again. Yuna stared at her. That didn't look like normal combat. It wasn't. Yuna narrowed her eyes. Then what was it? A pause. The Demon Queen didn't look at her. Something that should not be here. Yuna exhaled slowly, then glanced back at where the creature had been. Yeah. She looked at her again. You stepped in faster this time. The Demon Queen didn't respond, but she didn't step away either, and Yuna noticed. Chapter 7. They didn't move for a while after the glitch disappeared. Yuna exhaled slowly. Okay, that was definitely not normal. No, the Demon Queen said. Yuna glanced at her. You look like you actually didn't expect that. I didn't. That's not reassuring. Silence. Yuna shifted slightly, then immediately felt it. The thread. Still tight. Still pulling. She frowned. It got stronger. Yes. Yuna looked down at the faint red glow between them. Why? The Demon Queen didn't answer. Yuna narrowed her eyes. You don't know. A pause. No. That made her more uneasy than anything else so far. Yuna let out a breath. Great. Unknown system bug. Unknown monster. And now the bond is acting weird. She stepped back slightly. Pain flickered. Not as sharp as before, but different. It changed, she muttered. Yes. Yuna looked up. You're not explaining anything. There is nothing to explain yet. Yuna stared at her. You're terrible at this. A faint pause. At what? Talking? Explaining? Being normal? The Demon Queen tilted her head slightly. I am not meant to be normal. Yuna snorted. Yeah, that tracks. Another silence. Then stay closer. Yuna blinked. You serious? Yes. Yuna crossed her arms. You just want control. No. Yuna raised a brow. No? The Demon Queen looked at her. It is safer. Yuna held her gaze for a second, then clicked her tongue. Fine. She stepped closer. The thread eased. The pressure settled. Yuna exhaled quietly. Yeah, that is safer. And for some reason that bothered her more than it should. Chapter 8. They reached a ruined structure not long after. Stone walls, broken pillars, half collapsed. Yuna looked around. Let me guess. Also yours? Yes. Of course it is. She stepped inside first this time, slowly, carefully. Feels like a dungeon. It is not. Yuna glanced back. You sound very sure. I am. Yuna frowned slightly. Then movement. Fast. From above. Something dropped. A blade of light. Too fast to react. Yuna barely raised her dagger clang. The attack stopped. Not by her. A black barrier shattered it instantly. Yuna froze. The demon queen stood beside her, hand raised, eyes sharp. You moved before I did, Yuna said. Yes. Yuna lowered her dagger slowly. That attack wasn't targeting you. No. So you didn't have to block it. A pause. The demon queen lowered her hand. It was inefficient not to. Yuna stared at her. Right. She didn't believe that. Another attack came. This time from the side. Yuna reacted too slow. The demon queen stepped forward again, intercepted, destroyed, clean, precise, unnecessary. Yuna watched closely this time. You're doing that on purpose. No. Yeah. You are. Silence. Yuna stepped closer. Too close again. You said you were just watching. I am. Yuna tilted her head. This doesn't look like watching. A pause. Then, you are inefficient. Yuna blinked. That's your excuse? Yes, Una laughed under her breath. Wow, that's terrible. The demon queen said nothing. But she didn't deny it either, and that was enough. Chapter 9. They left the ruins in silence. Yuna kicked a small stone as they walked. You always like this? Yes. That wasn't what I meant. The demon queen glanced at her. Yuna continued. I mean, with everyone. Yes. Yuna frowned. So you just protect random people like this? No. Then why me? Silence. Yuna stopped walking. Seriously, you keep avoiding that. The demon queen stopped too, then turned. You are useful. Yuna stared at her. That's it? Yes, Yuna scoffed. That's a terrible answer. It is sufficient. Yuna looked away. You're annoying. A pause. Then you are different. Yuna froze slightly. You keep saying that. The demon queen stepped closer. Not threatening, just closer. Yes. Yuna didn't move. How? A moment passed. Then you are not afraid of me. Yuna blinked. That's not true, it is. Yuna frowned. I'm literally stuck to you. I don't have a choice. The demon queen shook her head slightly. Others fear me before understanding. Yuna looked at her. And me? You understand first. Silence. Yuna didn't respond. Because that felt a little too accurate. She clicked her tongue instead. Still annoying. A faint smile. Noted. Chapter 10. They didn't notice it at first. The change. The distance. Yuna slowed slightly, thinking, distracted. Then the thread pulled. Hard. She stumbled forward, straight into her. Yuna grabbed onto the demon queen's arm instinctively. What was that? The thread glowed brighter than before. Unstable. The demon queen's expression sharpened. It is reacting. To what? No answer. Yuna frowned. Then another pull. Stronger. She stepped even closer. Too close. Their distance collapsed completely. Yuna froze. Okay, that's new. The demon queen didn't move, didn't step back. Yuna could feel it now. The connection. Not just power. Something else. This isn't just distance anymore, she said quietly. No. Yuna looked up. Then what is it? A pause. The demon queen held her gaze. Synchronization. Yuna's breath slowed slightly. That sounds worse, it is not, Yuna huffed. You always say that. The thread pulsed again, but this time no pain. Just warmth. Yuna blinked. That definitely wasn't there before. No. Silence stretched between them. Too close. Too aware. Yuna looked away first. This is weird. Yes. We're not doing this on purpose, right? No. Another pause. Neither of them moved. And somehow that felt more dangerous than anything before. Chapter 11. The air shifted again. Yuna felt it before she saw anything. Not again. The thread pulsed. Sharper this time. Unstable. The demon queen's gaze snapped forward. Stay behind me. Yuna frowned. You said that last time, and you survived. Fair point. The distortion appeared ahead. Worse than before. Larger. The space around it flickered like something was breaking. Yuna narrowed her eyes. That thing again? No. No. It has grown. That's worse. The creature moved. Not stepping. Not running. Just closer. Yuna tensed. I hate that. The demon queen raised her hand. Darkness gathered instantly, but before she could release it, the world glitched. Her attack froze. Mid-air. Yuna's eyes widened. Wait, what? The creature shifted. Faster, more unstable. The demon queen moved again, slower. For the first time, Yuna saw it. A delay. You're lagging. The demon queen didn't answer. That was answer enough. The creature lunged, straight at her. Yuna reacted on instinct. She stepped forward. Between them. Yuna too late. The attack hit. Nothing happened. Yuna blinked. Her body flickered. The damage didn't land. It phased. What? The world stuttered. Error. Conflict detected. Yuna's breath caught. The creature froze. The system hesitated. Just for a second. But that was enough. The demon queen moved. Fast again. Darkness exploded outward. The creature shattered. Gone. Silence fell again. Yuna exhaled slowly. Okay, that was new. No response. She turned and froze. The demon queen was staring at her. Not calm, not controlled. Something else. What? Yuna said. You stepped in front of me. Yeah? Why? Yuna frowned. You were about to get hit. I would not have died. Didn't look like that. Silence. Yuna crossed her arms. What, you wanted me to just stand there? Another pause. No. Yuna blinked. That was unexpected. Chapter 12. They didn't move for a while. The air felt heavier now. Different. Yuna broke the silence first. You hesitated. The demon queen didn't respond. You did, Yuna said. Back there. A pause. Yes. Yuna narrowed her eyes. Why? Silence. Then the interference affected me. So you can be stopped. Yes. Yuna exhaled slowly. That's a problem. It is. Yuna looked at her. Then we adapt. The demon queen glanced at her. We? Yuna shrugged. Yeah, we. You are not required to stay. Yuna snorted. Pretty sure I am. Whole dying together thing? That is not what I meant. Yuna paused. Then what did you mean? The demon queen looked at her. You may choose to leave. Yuna stared at her. You're serious? Yes. Yuna frowned. After all this? Yes. Silence stretched. Yuna looked away. Then back. And you? I will remain. Even if those things keep appearing? Yes. Yuna clicked her tongue. You're stupid. The demon queen tilted her head slightly. Explain. You just admitted you can be affected, Yuna said. And you're still staying here alone? I am not alone. Yuna raised a brow. You were about to be. A pause. The demon queen didn't respond. Yuna exhaled. Then, I'm staying. Silence. The thread pulsed softly. The demon queen looked at her. That is inefficient. Yuna smirked. Yeah, I know. Why? Yuna shrugged slightly. Because I want to. The demon queen held her gaze. Longer this time. Very well. But something had changed. Subtle. But real. Chapter 13. They didn't speak for a while after that. They didn't need to. The thread felt different, quieter, steadier. Yuna walked slightly ahead this time. Then the pull. Stronger than before. She stumbled. Again. And ended up right in front of her. Too close. Yuna exhaled. This thing is getting aggressive. Yes. Still normal? No. Great. She didn't step back. This time she noticed it. The lack of resistance. The demon queen didn't move either. Didn't create distance. Yuna frowned slightly. You're not pushing me away. No. Why not? A pause. Then it is unnecessary. Yuna stared at her. That's your answer for everything. Yes. Yuna laughed under her breath, but she didn't move. The thread pulsed again. Warm, steady. Yuna glanced down. It's not hurting anymore. Yes, that's not normal. No, silence. Yuna looked up. Their distance hadn't changed. Close enough to feel everything. This is weird, she said quietly. Yes. We should probably move. Yes. Neither of them did. Another pause. Then Yuna stepped back first. Just slightly. The thread tightened, but didn't hurt. Yeah, definitely changed. The demon queen watched her. Yes. Yuna turned slightly. Let's keep moving. Yes. But this time they walked closer than before, and neither of them commented on it. Chapter 14. Yuna stopped first. Do you hear that? The demon queen didn't answer, but her gaze shifted. That was enough. Yuna frowned. That's not those glitch things, right? No. Then what? A pause. Players. Yuna froze. Her grip tightened around her dagger. Human players? Yes, silence. Yuna exhaled slowly. So I'm not the only one stuck here. No. Great. The sound got closer. Voices. Real ones. There. I told you this area wasn't empty. Yuna's chest tightened slightly. Familiar. Too familiar. She stepped forward instinctively. The thread pulled. Sharp. Not pain. Resistance. Yuna frowned. That's new. The demon queen stepped in front of her. Blocking her path. Do not approach. Yuna blinked. They're players. They are enemies. They're human. They will attack. Yuna hesitated. Not immediately. They will. Yuna frowned. You don't know that. I do. The voices got closer. Wait, someone's there. Yuna's breath slowed. I need to see. No. The answer came instantly. Yuna looked at her. You don't get to decide that. The demon queen's gaze sharpened. Yes, I do. Silence. Yuna stepped forward anyway. The thread pulled tighter. The demon queen moved and grabbed her wrist. Do not go. Yuna looked down at her hand, then back up. You're stopping me now? Yes. Yuna narrowed her eyes. Why? A pause. Because they will take you. Yuna blinked. That's not how players work. It is. Yuna shook her head. No, it's not. They're not like that. They are. The certainty in her voice made something in Yuna hesitate, but only for a second. I'm going. She pulled her hand free. Chapter 15. Yuna stepped into the clearing. 3 players, 2 men, 1 woman, all armed, all alert. They froze when they saw her. Wait, one of them said. You're a player? Yuna nodded slowly. Yeah. Relief flashed across their faces. Thank God, the woman said. We thought this area was full of monsters. Yuna let out a small breath. It is. Then how are you alive? One of the men asked. Yuna hesitated. I got lucky. Lucky? He frowned. There's no way. His voice stopped. His eyes shifted. Past her. Behind her. His expression changed instantly. What the hell is that? Yuna turned slightly. The demon queen stood at the edge of the clearing, watching. Silent. The atmosphere dropped instantly. The players tensed, weapons raised. Boss entity, one of them said. High level. Kill it. Yuna froze. Wait, they moved, fast, too fast, straight toward her. No hesitation. Yuna's eyes widened. Hey, stop, too late. The first attack came from the side. Yuna dodged instinctively. The second came immediately after. She blocked barely. What are you doing? She shouted. She's linked to it, the woman yelled. Look at the thread. Yuna froze. What? Kill both. Everything stopped for a second. Then the thread flared. Bright, violent. Yuna felt it. The shift. Oh. The demon queen moved. Instant. She stepped forward and everything went dark. When Yuna could see again, the players were on the ground. Not dead, but not moving. The demon queen stood between them, unharmed, untouched. Yuna stared. You didn't kill them. No. Why? A pause. You did not want me to. Yuna froze. That's not what I said. It is what you meant. Silence. Yuna looked at the players, then back at her. They attacked first. Yes. Yuna exhaled slowly. Yeah. Chapter 16. The players were waking up. Slowly. Confused. One of them groaned. What happened? Yuna didn't move, didn't step closer, didn't step away. The demon queen stood beside her, silent, watching. Yuna crossed her arms slightly. You were right. A pause. Yes. Yuna clicked her tongue. Don't sound so satisfied. I am not. You kind of are. The players noticed them again. This time they didn't attack. They hesitated. You, the woman said weakly, looking at Yuna. You're human, right? Yuna didn't answer immediately. Yeah. Then why are you with that thing? Silence. Yuna felt the thread pulse. Soft. Steady. It's complicated. That's a boss, one of the men said. You need to get away from it. Yuna didn't move. Didn't step forward. Didn't step back. I can't. You can, the woman said. We can help you. Yuna let out a quiet breath. No, you can't. Why not? Yuna glanced at the demon queen, then back at them. Because if she dies, she stopped. The words caught. The players stared. What? The man said. Yuna shook her head. Nothing. Silence. Then come with us, the woman said. We'll figure it out. Yuna hesitated. Just for a second. That was enough. The thread pulled. Sharp. Not pain, but resistance. She frowned. No. The answer came clearer this time. I'm staying. The players stared at her. You're choosing that thing over us? Yuna didn't react to the tone. I'm choosing survival. Silence. The woman's expression hardened. You're going to regret that. Yuna shrugged slightly. Maybe. They left. Slowly. Carefully. But they left. The clearing fell silent again. Yuna exhaled. That was messy. Yes. Yuna glanced at her. You didn't stop me. No. Why? A pause. Then you chose. Yuna blinked slightly. Yeah. Silence. Then she looked away. Don't make it sound like it matters. A faint pause. It does. Yuna didn't respond. But the thread pulsed again. Warm. Steady. And this time she didn't ignore it. Chapter 17. The change started quietly. Yuna noticed it first. You're flickering. The demon queen didn't answer. That was already wrong. Yuna stepped closer. Hey. For a second her hand passed slightly through her arm. Yuna froze. No. The thread pulsed. Unstable. The demon queen finally spoke. It has begun. Yuna's chest tightened. What has? Correction. Yuna frowned. Correction of what? The demon queen looked at her. Me. Silence. Yuna shook her head. No, that's not happening. It is. The air around them flickered, like before. But worse. Error. Unauthorized entity. Yuna clenched her fists. So what? The system just deletes you? Yes. And we just let that happen? The demon queen didn't answer. That was enough. Yuna stepped forward. The thread flared. No. Chapter 18. The distortion returned. Bigger, stronger, more aggressive. Yuna stood her ground. That's the thing trying to erase you. Yes. Then we destroy it. It cannot be destroyed. Yuna glanced at her. You sound very sure. I have tried. Yuna exhaled slowly. Then we tried differently. The creature moved. Reality warped around it. Yuna's vision flickered. Her HP glitched. But this time she didn't step back. She stepped forward. The thread surged. Warm, bright, alive. We're linked, right? Yes. Then stop fighting alone. The demon queen looked at her. Something shifted. You do not understand. Then explain it faster. The creature lunged. Yuna didn't dodge. She grabbed the demon queen's hand. The thread exploded with light. The world froze. Just for a second. Then it broke. The creature shattered. Not erased. Broken. The system screamed. Error. System override. Yuna blinked. We can fight it. The demon queen stared at her. You changed it. Yuna let out a breath. Yeah, looks like it. Chapter 19. The world was collapsing. The sky cracked. The ground trembled. The system was resetting. Yuna could feel it. The pull. The end. The demon queen stepped back. It will reset everything. Yuna frowned. Then we stop it. We cannot. You keep saying that. A pause. You must leave. Yuna froze. What? The logout will appear. And you? Silence. Yuna's chest tightened. No. You will survive. I don't care. You should. Yuna stepped forward. I'm not leaving you. The demon queen looked at her. Something softer. You should. Yuna shook her head. No. The logout button finally appeared. It hovered in front of Yuna like a quiet promise. The system pulsed. Logout available. Yuna didn't even look at it. Behind her, the world was collapsing. The sky fractured into shards of light. The ground trembled. The system was resetting, erasing everything that shouldn't exist. Including her. Including the demon queen. You should go. Seraphine's voice was calm. Too calm. Yuna turned. For the first time, the demon queen didn't look untouchable. Her body was flickering, like a broken illusion. You knew, Yuna said. Seraphina smiled faintly. I was never meant to stay. Silence. The world cracked again. A piece of the sky fell like glass between them. Yuna's chest tightened. If I log out, she said slowly, you disappear. Seraphina didn't answer. She didn't need to. Yuna let out a breath. Then she laughed quietly. You really are the worst final boss. A step forward, then another. She stopped right in front of her, close enough to feel the fading warmth. I'm not leaving. Seraphine's expression changed for the first time. Yuna, I'm not leaving you here alone. The system pulsed violently. Warning. Data erasure in progress. Yuna reached out. Their fingers touched. The bond flared. Bright, painful, alive. If this world disappears, Yuna said, her voice steady, then we find each other again. Serafina stared at her, like she was trying to memorize every detail. You make impossible promises. Yuna smiled. Then believe me anyway. The light swallowed everything. Chapter 20. Yuna woke up to silence. A real ceiling. A real room. No system. No thread. I logged out. Her voice sounded distant. Empty, like something was missing. 3 days later, rain tapped softly against the cafe window. Yuna sat quietly, staring at her untouched drink. You've been spacing out a lot, her friend said. Yeah, you gonna tell me why? Yuna hesitated. Then, I got stuck in a game. Her friend blinked. You serious? Yeah, and, Yuna looked down at her cup. There was someone. Her friend leaned forward. Oh. Yuna smiled faintly. She was annoying. Her friend laughed. Sounds like your type. Maybe. Yuna glanced toward the window, then froze. Across the street, a familiar figure stood under the rain. Black hair. Calm eyes. Watching. Yuna's breath caught. No way. What? Her friend asked. Yuna didn't answer. She stood up slowly, heart racing. Outside, the woman tilted her head slightly. The same way she used to, a small, knowing smile forming on her lips. Yuna's breath caught. Her hand trembled slightly against the table. Yuna stepped closer to the glass. You found me. The words didn't reach her, but somehow she knew. Outside, the demon queen smiled. Soft, certain. Yuna smiled back. This time she didn't hesitate.
You made it to the end. Maybe you're already part of the story too. Don't disappear now. Like the video. And subscribe so you don't miss what happens next. I'll be waiting for you in the next story.